All right, this is B321 with the group discussion on the wilderness survival case, and we will have an opening prayer by Eleanor.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're grateful to meet together as a group. Bless that we can efficiently accomplish what we need to, and that Thy Spirit can be with us. We can go throughout our day and do what we need to as far as school. And we're grateful for the opportunity that we have to go to school. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right. So for this discussion, it asks us to go through the decisions that we made for the rankings. I guess we'll talk a little bit about the scenario first. So it's discussing a group of canoers that went out and got lost and went through some rapids, and their canoes got damaged, and now they're kind of stuck out there with a few items, and we're trying to determine what the most important items that they have are to help them get back to safety. So let's see, the first thing it tells us to do is to first come up with a consensus of the rankings. So let's just go ahead and start with that. Who wants to go first with what they think is the most important item?
I put the water purification tablets as number one.
Okay, sweet. I had that up towards the top too.
Though that we need to figure out before we rank it, it really depends on what we think they should do. Like if they're gonna and hope someone comes to find them, or if they're gonna go and try and find and split up, or if they're gonna try and fix their canoes, like that kind of changes the rankings. So
yeah, thank you for mentioning that, because the plan of action definitely changes what's most important. So I guess let's talk about that first, what our plan is. And I'll just go ahead and start with my thoughts. Then we can go through this. So I think that the best plan of action would be to, since no one's expecting them home for another few days, I don't think waiting out would be the best option. So I think doing what they can to get help would be action. So I think that repairing the canoes any way they can, if they can, would be towards the top of the list. So that's what I think personally what the plan of action should be, but what do you guys think?
Well, I was thinking that since they're freezing right now and they just got out of the water, so they're freezing cold, I was thinking that heat should be on the priority list for sure.
Definitely, yeah. What about you, Reese?
Like the order of my rankings, or what do I think we should do first?
Well, just as Eleanor was talking about, like what the overall plan is. Should they wait out, or should they try and seek help, or?
Yeah, I was just thinking that they would just like work their way through. So like I just had a map and the compass, and stuff like that would be fine, would be good. But I guess they do need the boats, right? I don't know if they can walk to the next town.
It said that the only way for them to get to the next place is, well, maybe not the only way, but the best way was to continue down the river.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
Said the boats were pretty
Yeah, it doesn't
damaged
say
though, right?
damaged, and it gives us the extent of the damage, which I feel like how it can be repaired or not. So there's one with an 18-inch tear and then a 12 and a 15-inch tear on the canoes. So that kind of gives us an idea.
The
So
only
there's duct
real,
tape, so
I just don't know how effective duct tape would be in the water. My thought was, because they said 18 miles to a road, if they could just get to a road, they could probably get help. So my thought, since they have someone with a broken leg, would be to divide and have their two best, most physically best people go to the road with the map and the compass, and the others to use the canoes as shelter from the rain, and to use the fire and just try and fish, and stay there. And so two to get help, and so to divide up, because they have someone with a broken leg, so they can't really all walk unless they can fix the canoes, which I don't know if they can just with duct tape. That seems
Yeah. Good points.
yeah, I would
cool.
think that they should not try to get in the water again with canoes. I think now their priority is to stay warm and dry and stay out of the water and just just go by foot or whatever to get to the nearest road or town or whatever and kind of stay out of the water.
All right, sounds good. Let's do that as our course of action then, to, as Eleanor said, let the most healthy people go back, try and reach the road, and contact some people. Okay, with that being said, as Meg said, I feel that towards the top is going to be keeping them dry and warm, so the sleeping bags would be
Matches.
important. What ranking do you guys feel that we should give the sleeping bags? Let's start there.
Sleeping bag. So we're starting with sleeping bags.
Well, we can start anywhere, but let's just start.
Honestly, I would probably give. I would either be first with the water purification, the matches, and the sleeping bags. Those would be my top three.
Those were my top three as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you take wilderness survival classes, they always say that water, shelter are the most important things. So
Right.
Yeah.
I would say those would be the most important.
Now,
Yeah.
I actually put the duct tape, or the frisbee and the whiskey decently high as well, because they don't really have, how are they going to drink the water? They can dump out the whiskey and then they have something, and the frisbee, but other than that, I didn't see any way for them to really.
Well, the whiskey
Drink
can
the
be
water.
used too for for wounds and stuff if it's
Yeah.
getting infected.
All right. Well, going with food or shelter and water among the top. So okay, let's just start at the top and let's go through it and discuss it. Unless you guys can think of a better way to do it, but just so that we can keep it organized. Fanny pack of food. I think although food's important, it's not towards the top because they can survive 4 or 5 days without food. So I was thinking putting it somewhere towards the mid upper range, maybe around 9 and 10. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll change it as we need, but I'm gonna put it in as 9.
Okay.
And then the plastic covered mat. Pretty important. If our plan is to go and reach and get help, then they need to know where they're going. What do you guys think is a good number for the map?
I would put the map and the compass right under the water and matches and sleeping bags. So I'd put it like 4 and 5. That's what I would do.
4 and 5. Okay, let's see.
So what do we have above that then? So we would want water, sleeping bags, matches for sure, right? Anything else we would want to
Right,
have
I
above
think
that? So have the map and the compass at 4 and 5.
Yeah, I think that's the only way they're going to be able to make it to the road is using the map
Okay.
and the compass.
yeah,
Would it be good if we started off with, instead of the order they're listed, like
that's important.
the order we think they should be in, instead of just
Yeah, that
going
might be
like
easier.
fanny pack.
I think
So that- Okay. So what was first? Was the water tablets?
Yeah, I would say water.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I know
think
it's
that's
among the first. You want to start
pretty
with
easy to get
water?
hydrated.
Okay.
Although the weather's like 25 and they're soaking wet, so they could go into hypothermia, just like right now, and
It's only going to get colder.
it might get colder, so they might need the matches. That might be, to get the fire going and dry off.
Yeah,
One before
I think
the
that's
water.
a
I
good
don't
point. 'Cause I think hyperthermia would probably be a bigger threat in the first few hours than dehydration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, let's put
So
matches
matches
as
one.
1. Yeah, that way they can get dry and get warm.
Water at 2.
Yeah, water at 2.
I think sleeping bags is pretty important.
Yep.
I would think that one would be 3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, then let's see.
Then we have the map and the compass at 4 and 5 already, like we talked about. Unless there's anything else that's more important.
No, I think that's good. Did you have the map or the compass at 4?
I put the map at 4 and the compass at 5.
I'm actually thinking the other way around. Because if you have some idea of where you are, you can probably figure out approximately where the nearest road would be.
Yeah. Compass is useless without the map.
The map is useless without the compass.
They're both kind of useless without each other.
Well, I feel like
Well, no, I think that
You
I
can
think
use
the map could help.
landmarks to tell the direction.
Yeah, I think the map could have some use without the compass. Like you could see the terrain and stuff, and try to get an idea from what you see, on the map. The compass kind of it can point you north, I guess.
Yeah.
does it say that this is their first trip out there? I don't remember.
Well, again, I didn't catch that.
Is this their first trip out there, or have they been out there many times before?
I don't know if it said
I don't
that.
remember.
I don't know if it said.
I don't think it said. All right, well, let's just put it as map is at 4, and then we can change it if we need to. But let's just do that for now.
Okay. That's fine.
Let's see. Okay. So as Eleanor was talking, we have the water purification tablets, but if we don't have anything to actually use it in, like she was saying, they're not going to be very useful. And so they could use the Frisbee, put water in and then use a tablet, or they could use whiskey. But then I like what Michael was saying, whiskey out because it has use for wounds and stuff. But for water purification, what do you guys think? Should the vessel that they use to purify the water be next, or should it be towards the last? I guess if we put water at the top, then
I put it as next. I mean, that's kind of where I put the water vessel, because I mean, on this list, I mean, maybe they could find something in the wild, some rock or something, I don't know, but they don't really have any other options. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay. So
then we'd put that as 6.
yeah, let's put it as 6. Let's put you guys want to use the Frisbee or the whiskey, or how do you want to go?
the Frisbee, and then put the whiskey as 7, because really, if they're all banged up, they also should clean
Yeah,
their
since everyone
wounds
has
and such.
scrapes and stuff, and one person has a broken leg
Yep.
and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would. And it specifically mentioned the story that there's no medical help anywhere close. So, I mean, and we don't have a first aid kit, so that's basically our only thing to help with any kind of wounds that you have.
All right, sounds good. So after whiskey,
I would say like the duct tape, the parachute cord, because those are going to be useful in helping create some kind of shelter or something.
yeah, as well as maybe splinting the person with the broken leg,
Yeah.
splinting their leg.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the fishing poles? Like, you think those could be used for catching food or anything like that? I think that's important.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing.
And they can probably makeshift, figure out how to use them even if
You would at
they're
least
not-
have fishing line, which you could
Yeah.
use.
Yeah, I think the line and the hook from the fishing pole would be the most valuable. I think even without a functioning fishing pole, if you had a line and a hook, then you can make it work. Let's see. Okay, so we have to go kind of the direction. Is food the next most important? Or do we want to go, like Eleanor was saying, parachute cord and duct tape is just usefulness?
I think we should go food
So my
next.
thought on food, okay, I was just going to say that you can really go a while without food, and they do have a little bit of food. So I would put the parachute cord and the duct tape fishing poles, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
I was
there's
leaning towards
There's no telling how long they'll be out there, though, So
yeah.
I feel like in a real life situation, after you get done with your food and water and warmth and stuff, you start thinking of, well, now we need to start thinking of food. That's also what keeps your energy up and gives you, like the energy you need to continue on and do things.
So, okay, so here's a thought, though. Shelter is one of the most important things. So how are they getting shelter? My thought was the canoes could be kind of made into a shelter, but they have holes in them. So, there comes the duct tape. I guess that was kind of my reasoning.
Yeah, the cord and the duct tape could definitely be useful for shelter.
But I mean, I agree. People that don't eat food are really cranky, and you don't have energy. And I mean, it's important. But
They're all pretty important stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
except maybe the is at this point. But
We were planning to go anyway.
Okay, let's see.
So I guess do we want to go food more important or the utility items more important? So that's the decision we need to make.
Right, I'm leaning towards utility. Let's just kind of take a vote, I guess.
that's kind of mine too.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
What do
So
you, Reese and Meg?
cord and duct tape.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I was thinking fishing poles and is like very important.
I guess the thing about fishing poles too is with the line, it could be a utility item too. You could use fishing line for a lot of stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, yeah, it's not a big deal. So
Yeah.
All right.
so
Let's see. So we're on number 8. So I'm just gonna put duct tape as number 8.
We could go both. We could do duct tape, and then we could go the fanny pack of food, and then we could go cord, and then fishing poles, or
Okay, so let's just do that for now. So 9 is food, parachute cord, and 11 is fishing poles. And then, okay, so we have insect repellent, clothes, and flotation device. I think with the weather being so cold, really insect repellent isn't going to do much good, or going to be that necessary, I should say. The only thing, maybe fire starter, you could use it as a fire starter, but I don't know if I think kind of putting that towards the last.
yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I think flotation device is next because I'm assuming we're all wearing clothes already, right? So extra clothes, especially wet, wouldn't be that useful.
Especially, yeah.
Admittedly, if we're starting a fire, we can dry the clothes by the fire as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if we have fishing line to hang them up.
But I think
The clothes could also be used to help tie up, like,
Bandages.
a split on the leg, things like that. Wounds, you could make strips out of them.
Yep.
or even make a homemade stretcher. I remember doing that in Scouts with shirts and stuff. So I guess I don't think clothes are necessarily or using them for changing. I don't think that's valuable, but I feel like the other uses could be valuable. With flotation devices, we can do the same thing, though. What device could they, or what could they do besides just their intended use? So
flotation devices could also potentially be used for holding water. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's true, because they probably have, they're waterproof, so that's a good idea.
Okay.
So we want to go flotation devices, then clothes, and then have the insect repellent last.
Yeah, that looks good. All right. I think that looks good. Let's see, okay, the next section. Get to it. right, so everyone recorded their consensus in column C?
Almost done.
Okay. All right, so here are the expert rankings for column D. And I'm going to read this because it kind of sets out the scenario that they are going with and then how they rank the items. So it says the correct answers are based on the opinions of two experts, Jeff Stemmerman and Ken Geisk. So the experts agreed that the best course of action for the group was to repair one of the canoes and send two of the most experienced and least injured people to paddle to a road and get to Grand Marais for help. See, it says because the search party, computer's having issues. Because the search party would not even leave for at least 5 days. It might not find the group for a couple days more after that. This would cause severe hardship on the group, particularly the one with the broken leg. Food is way down, and there's minimal protection from rain and cold, since the tent and tarps were lost. Cold and rainy weather at this time of year is life-threatening, so the group must get help as soon as possible. First priority of the group, then, is to go for help. So those are kind of the assumptions they made. So then for their first or most important item, they chose duct tape.
Yeah.
See, I'll read it. So it says this is the most essential thing because the only way to repair the canoe. It is the only way to repair the canoe. It can be used to patch up the 10-inch. This is not written very well. Other uses for the tape, which the experts say is essential on any such trip, is to repair the fishing poles, and to use with large sticks to set as a temporary splint for the broken bone. Lastly, it can be used to fashion a makeshift pan to boil water. However, caution must be used to keep the tape far enough away from the flame to not allow the water to get so hot. Okay, so first one, duct tape. And then the expert ranking. Okay, next one is the personal flotation device. Since they're going down the river again, they would want to have those with them. So number 2, flotation. Number 3 is a map of the area, essential for the 2 people trying to get out. So 3 is the map. 4 is the sleeping bag.
Man, they think all this is more important than having water. That's crazy.
Water, yeah, that's interesting. 5 is the matches. 6 is food.
Wait, what was 5?
Matches.
Okay. And 6 was the fanny pack of food, you said?
Yes. Number 7 is the clothes. Number 8 is the fishing pole. Um, 9 is the parachute cord. And then 10 is the insect repellent. Um, 11 is the water purification tablets. 12 is the frisbee. 13 is the compass, and then 14 is the whiskey.
Could you actually say all of the group ranking ones? Like just starting from.
Yes. So, okay. I'll just start at the top. The fanny pack, we had at 9, and they had at 6. The plastic covered map, they had at 4, or we had at 4 and they had at 3, which is pretty close. Rotation devices, we had at 12, they had at 2, so opposite sides of the spectrum there. Fishing poles, we had at 11, they have it at 8. Clothes, we have at 13, they have it at 7. The frisbee, we put it at 6, and they have it at 12. Water purification tablets, we put at 2, they put 11. So that's another one that's pretty opposite. Duct tape, we put 8, and they put 1. Whiskey, we put 7, and they put 14. Insect repellent, we put 14, they put 10. Matches, we put number 1, they put it as 5. Parachute cord, we put 10, and they put 9. Compass we put at 5, and they had it at 13. And then sleeping bags, we had 3. So some of them were really close, but some were just opposite sides. I think that kind of goes back to what our plan was. They wanted to fix the canoe, and we wanted to try and walk out. So that changes things a little bit.
I think too that they're thinking that they can purify water with.
What did you say that our ranking was for the 2 fishing poles?
Ours for the 2 fishing poles was 11.
Okay.
Guess they're expecting to boil the water, not to purify
Yeah,
the tablets.
I don't.
Or they're just tough and
I don't
just
understand
drink
how
water.
they're going to do it. I don't know.
Maybe that's why the flotation devices were so high too, because those could be used for holding the water. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, well, they said that they were going to try and make a makeshift bowl out of the duct tape itself to boil water, which I don't know. It just said that it's apparently you can do that, so.
Yeah.
Really?
All right, so we kind of discussed this, but it says, what was significantly different ranking in the expert rankings, which were the flotation devices, water, purification tablets. Let's see, which ones were really opposite.
Compass was pretty different.
Compass was fairly, yeah. But I guess a compass is less valuable for someone that's just following a river, you know, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But okay. And then the ones that we got really similar were the map, which in their situation makes sense because they're just following the river, you know, the way to go. And then fishing poles was pretty similar. Sleeping bags was really similar, 3 and 4. That makes sense. I think we determined that cold was probably one of the biggest threats to him at this point. So
Parachute cord is pretty similar.
yeah. All right. Okay, so it says to finalize all your scores. So the individual error, the group error, and the persuasion score. And then do it as absolute value without any negatives in there, just the difference between them. So let's go ahead and do that real quick.
So the lower the score, the better then?
Yes.
I don't know why they didn't do this in Excel. And we wouldn't
I
have to do
know.
all the work. So we can put negatives, like 6 minus.
Just do it as absolute value, so it's just how far away you are from it.
Oh, okay.
I got 70 for our group score. Is that what you guys got?
Let me finish real quick.
Or sorry, group error.
Add them all up individually. I mean, I'll
Yeah, the group score is total all the numbers in column E.
Okay. Yeah. It would make it a lot easier.
I got 71, but I probably did something wrong.
You got what?
71. Let me look through my thing here.
Well, could easily be me. Who was
You got
wrong?
70. I got 70.
You said you got 70 as well?
So did I.
Yeah.
All right, then it must be me that's wrong. Let's go with 70. All right, what were your individual scores?
I got 64.
Okay, let me write that down. Does anyone else have their
I got individual. I got 68.
68? Okay.
Wait, can you say again what our group ranking, like column C? What was the total?
It was 70, I think.
70.
That's column
Or,
E, which is the group error.
Column E, yeah.
So E should be 70.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need all of our individual scores?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is 59.
59.
Yeah.
You have yours, Meg?
I've gotten 2 different numbers. Hold on. I'm having to do this a couple times. $60.
60. Let's see. 64. 16. Yours was at 58, Reese?
59.
Nine. All right, so the group average is 62.2. And then, so it looks like the lowest score of 59.
Cool.
So it says ask the group member with the best member score for their persuasion score. So what's your persuasion score? Have you added that one up yet?
62.
Mine's 8.
62.
Mine's 18.
Okay.
Said 18?
Yes.
Makes sense. We listen to you a lot.
I just have a big mouth. Sorry.
Wait, do you need all of our persuasion scores?
No, I don't think so. It just asks for the
Okay.
lowest member. So let's see. It says decide if your group had a process gain. If your group score was lower than the average member score, then you did have a process gain. If it was higher, you did not. So our average was 62.2 and our group score was 70. So it looks like we did not have a process gain. I don't know what a process gain is, though. It doesn't say.
So I guess 6 heads is not better than 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it's saying. It's like worse together.
Should have just listened to these. All right. Well, that is it. That's the extent of the group meeting, it looks like. So I will stop the recording real quick.